After 2 days of intense negotiations by the world's most powerful economies, the G20 Leaders Summit has come to an end. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who chaired the Global Economic Forum, says the gathering has been a resounding success. I've recently received the good news that with the hard work of all the teams, the new cooperation, New Delhi G20 Leaders Summit declaration, we have received consensus. The leaders adopted a consensus that avoided condemning Russia for the war in Ukraine, but they called on states not to use force to grab territory. Western nations ail a push for the Kremlin to be denounced for invading its neighbor.
Everybody came together for the consensus, but I think if Sherpa would bear me out, I think the emerging markets took a particular lead on this, and many of us have a strong history of working together. Bear in mind that actually you have 4 developing countries in succession as G20 Presidency: Indonesia, us, Brazil and South Africa.
South Africa says it's quite happy with the daily outcomes.
What I think is extremely important is you're seeing a very important continuum between the BRICS thematics, the G20 themes as proposed by India, and the focus announced at the close of the summit today by Brazil. So clearly there are matters that have emerged in all these different fora which require follow-through. So what I'm really glad about is we're not creating new themes all the time, forgetting old decisions and so on. So the issues of how we respond to climate change, ensuring we're secure financing for our responses from developed countries, matters of reform of multilateral institutions.
Another key issue is the global leaders announced a multinational rail and ports deal linking the Middle East and South Asia. This comes at a critical time as US President Joe Biden seeks to counter China's Belt and Road push on global infrastructure by pitching Washington as an alternative partner and investor for developing countries.
As we work to address infrastructure gaps across low and middle-income countries, we need to maximize the impact of our investments. That's why a few months ago I announced that the United States will work with our partners to invest in economic corridors. In practice, it means we're focusing on regional infrastructure projects that deliver results across multiple countries.
World leaders also braved the New Delhi rain to visit a memorial dedicated to India's independence hero, Mahatma Gandhi. South Africa was represented by President Cyril Ramaphosa, and Pretoria will take over the G20 Presidency in 2025. Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.